gentlemen, we have amidst us Padma Shri awardee and renowned sand artist from Odisha, who has earned many, many prizes, including the World Championships titled 5 times. That is a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen. He is also a Guinness World Record holder. He has represented India in more than 60 international world championships, of course, around the world. He is born in Puri Jagannath Dham in Odisha. Now, Mr. Patnaik is going to perform a wonderful, wonderful animation for us, especially curated for this team. Mr. Patnaik is going to be performing a sand animation show with his team for us right away. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a privilege. Please enjoy.
The Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India, CREDAI, is the apex body of real estate developers in India with over 13,000 members across 230 cities. CREDAI members account for more than 90% of the organized real estate development in India and have played a key role in the transition of the Indian real estate from an unorganized sector to an organized one, with home buyers' interests as the focus. As India's cities began expanding in the late 90s, a visionary leader, Mr. Kumar Ghera, rose to guide the real estate sector. From 1999 to 2005, Mr. Ghera served as the founding president of CREDAI. He, along with several industry veterans, laid the cornerstone for an ethical, unified industry by establishing CREDAI as the leading voice for private real estate developers across India. Under Mr. Ghera, CREDAI not only focused on regional growth but also became influential in national policy. His vision embraced professionalism and aimed at raising the standards of the industry. In 2005, leadership passed to Mr. Ramani Sastry, whose work from 2005 to 2007 aimed at regulatory reforms and transparency. With India's rapid urbanization, Mr. Sastry aligned CREDAI's efforts with the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, advancing affordable housing for all. His work expanded CREDAI's influence in southern India, setting up regional chapters across Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala. This allowed CREDAI to better support local developers and cemented its reach across the nation. He even championed housing initiatives for India's economically weaker sections, setting CREDAI's foundation on values of inclusion and progress. In 2007, Mr. Rajni Ajmera took over as president, addressing one of the biggest challenges in real estate. He advocated for amendments to the Land Acquisition Act, fostering a balanced approach that protected both developers and landowners. Under his guidance, CREDAI, along with CII, FICCI, FICCI, and other industry associations, joined hands to set up the National Skill Development Corporation, launching training programs to enhance the workforce's skill and professionalism. Through these efforts, CREDAI laid the groundwork for a well-trained, efficient labor force in real estate. From 2009 to 2011, Mr. Santosh Roongta led CREDAI with a focus on governmental collaboration. He fostered communication between developers and policymakers to address critical issues like land acquisition and infrastructure development. Mr. Roongta's contributions were instrumental in the drafting of the Real Estate Regulation and Development Bill, aimed at enhancing consumer protection and transparency in the sector. His leadership brought CREDAI closer to key state authorities, strengthening its policy influence. In 2011, Mr. Lalit Kumar Jain took the helm. His focus on collaboration led to partnerships with Builders Association of India, Construction Federation of India, establishing the Construction Skill Development Council of India. Mr. Jain prioritized closing skill gaps, creating a training platform that improved the workforce in areas from construction to project management. His efforts paved the way for more skilled and efficient workforces that continue to drive India's real estate growth today. During Mr. Jain's tenure, special efforts were made to improve communication between the National Association and its state and city chapters. In 2013, Mr. C. Shekhar Reddy took CREDAI in a greener direction. He advocated for sustainable and resource-efficient designs, championing green building certifications across India. His leadership saw the introduction of the Model Building Bylaws, standardizing sustainable practices and promoting urban planning that minimized waste and optimized resources. Mr. Reddy's efforts were a crucial step towards an eco-friendly future for Indian real estate. CREDAI partnered with IGBC to further the green building certification cause in India. From 2015 to 2017, Mr. Gitambar Anand led CREDAI through a pivotal period of regulatory reform, including the implementation of the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act, known as RERA. This transformative law focused on transparency and professionalism, empowering consumers and redefining industry standards. During Mr. Anand's tenure, CREDAI National Skilling Initiative was launched in partnership with PNB Housing Finance Limited and NSDC to bridge skill gaps and improve productivity within the workforce. It is his efforts that laid the foundation of CREDAI Skilling Initiative that has trained more than 2.5 lakh workers till date. Mr. Jakshay Shah's tenure from 2017 to 2019 brought CREDAI into alignment with India's Housing for All mission. He focused on streamlining regulatory processes and easing project approvals, improving the ease of doing business within the sector. Under Mr. Shah's guidance, CREDAI helped implement GST reforms in the sector and positioned CREDAI as an advocate for affordable housing. CREDAI became an important stakeholder for the Government of India in all policy consultations. It is during Mr. Shah's tenure that our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi addressed CREDAI fraternity at the YouthCon 2018. In 2019, Mr. Satish Magar took charge as CREDAI's president, steering the organization through the challenging COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Magar oversaw a commitment of INR 150 crore to relief efforts supporting frontline workers and communities impacted by the crisis. He further strengthened CREDAI's compassion by pledging homes for the families of CRPF Jawans affected in the Pulwama attack. His leadership underscored CREDAI's dedication to social responsibility during difficult times. Leading into the post-pandemic recovery, Mr. Harshvardhan Patodia, CREDAI president from 2021 to 2023, championed incentives and reforms to revitalize the real estate sector. His vision extended beyond recovery. He focused on sustainability, setting CREDAI on a path to achieve a net zero target by 2050. Under his leadership, CREDAI emphasized green building technologies, ensuring that future development aligns with global environmental standards. From its foundation to its current aspirations, CREDAI's journey has been one of growth, resilience, and responsibility. With each leader's vision, CREDAI has shaped an industry that stands not only as a pillar of India's economy, but as a beacon of progress and compassion for all. This is CREDAI's legacy, building India's future, one step at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, as an absolute special treat in the finale to this lovely animation act, By 2047, more than 50% of the estimated 168 crore population will be living in urban areas. India's per capita income, which stood at 2.12 lakhs in 2023-24, is projected to reach 14.9 lakhs by 2047. With new residential hubs emerging across cities, a number of Indian airports is expected to increase from 157 to 350 in 2047. Indian real estate's contribution to economy will be between $5 to $7 trillion and is projected to provide livelihood to 100 million people. India is projected to be the second largest economy only next to China and is expected to grow to $55 trillion. A Viksit Bharat by 2047, when Bharat celebrates Swatantrata ka Amrit Mahotsav, CREDAI hai to bharosa hai. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Patnaik. That was indeed marvelous. A big hurrah to Viksit Bharat and all those wonderful projections. Thank you, Mr. Irani.
I think a lot of us are members of an esteemed organization, but we do not really know the history of it. Is it okay if I ask one of our founders, Mr. Ramani Shastri, to please come on stage and give us a brief perspective about the foundation, where it started, in about 3 to 5 minutes? Can I request you to please come on stage and give us, guys?
Good afternoon, friends, and thank you for having me here. On this Foundation Day, the 25th year of Foundation, all I need to do is take you all back to the very time and place when the journey started. And there are a couple of people in this room present who were a part of the journey 25 years ago. And I would like to name each one of them separately, and I would like them to be recognized at this point in time. I may not be able to recall all of them, but there are a few of them who are here in this room. Okay, CREDAI started, I'm sure all of you all have heard this from me before. It started on the back of a function that Mr. Ram Jethmalani held as the Urban Development Minister in Bangalore in Delhi in 1999. And Mr. Kumar Gera at that point in time was representing PBAPA, that's the Pune body, and there were different cities that people in the real estate industry were called to attend this particular function under the Housing and Urban Development Ministry. I happen to be the president of a state body in Karnataka called the Karnataka Apartment Owners Association, and that's how I got invited. So when we met for the first time, we decided that, we were state organizations which were pretty strong, but only representing in the city or in the state that each one of us were operating from. The intention behind CREDAI was that we collectively come together and try and become a strength in the center. The idea in 1999 was clearly that, one, we should be as formidable, if not more formidable, than the CII at that point in time. So the very structure of CREDAI came on the back of the CII structure. But before I go to that, let me also tell you that in the initial year, in the first couple of months before we named the child, there is a person amongst us in the audience called Mr. Raj Menda, who was one. Raj, will you kindly stand up? He was one of the early ones who actually helped us coin the name together, and we came through very different names, and finally we agreed on Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India. That was because of Raj's contribution. I must say that Jitubai Thakkar was the one who vetted every possible document. Jitubai, will you please stand up? Jitubai Thakkar was one who did all the paperwork that was required for it, and the initial foundation, addresses, stuff like that was all done by a handful of people. Many of them are no longer in this room, are not attending this session today, but some of them, including Mr. Sushil Mohta, whom I can see. Sushil, will you stand up, please? Sushil Mohta, whom I see, was also a part of the early foundation days. There are a couple of past presidents who are going to be recognized separately by Baman, so I wouldn't name them, but they've all been contributors either in the initial stage or as we go along. So I must tell you, I'm grateful today to all these people who actually worked together, put together this whole body that today stands before you all after 25 years. And the intention then, the intention today, and the intention in the next 25 years should be how do we strengthen our association, how do we strengthen our relationship with the central government, how do we strengthen our relationship with the state government, and how do we become proactive before any law in this country or any law in this state is enacted, which will either help or benefit the trade or be detrimental to the trade. With this, I would like to thank all of you all, and I'll appreciate if Baman could take this forward. Thanks so much. Anybody that I didn't call out, if I haven't mentioned, please forgive me for that. But the presidents here will be recognized separately.
Thank you. That's, they say when it comes from the heart, it comes so free-flowing, so nice, so easy. And for those of us, we should always remember that we stand on the shoulders of these giants. And today is the opportunity that I have to be able to kind of recognize them and maybe even, felicitate them for all that they have done. So let me just try and coin out what all may have been, in short, a brief but important role played by the various presidents. I mean, it's really difficult to document all of the stuff they've done, by me especially, but at least a small line from me to you. So let me start off with Mr. Kumar Gera. He was the founding president. He had the most challenging task, and the purpose was to create an association, get all these random individual bodies together, bring them in one line. And I must tell you, his 6-year stint, while it was the most important, I shudder to think of the kind of responsibility he must have shouldered, or either the humility with which he must have led, so that people decided to say, yes, we will kind of, work with you, because as developers, we all know we are all alpha personalities, all very, very aggressive. But he must have led with such humility that, everybody decided to kind of come together and form this lovely association. Ramniji, who you just heard, it's not easy following the founding president and being a part of the founding group. At the same point of time, you succeeded, Mr. Gera, and you continued working towards strengthening. I know your stories that you told me at some dinner conversations, always very interesting, about the start, or he's actually a compendium on how real estate, and especially those of you from Mumbai, I suggest you catch him separately in the evening and let him regale you with stories about the Mumbai real estate. So thank you very much for all the efforts you put in. Then we had our own tiger from Mumbai, Rajnibai Ajmera, who by just the force of his personality can get everybody aligned and everybody together. He created this as a knowledge-sharing platform, and more importantly, he developed association with other industry bodies, and we developed the National Skill Corporation at that point of time. We worked towards establishing the National Skill Corporation at that point of time. Mr. Santosh Rungta, who's not here with us today, again strengthened the footprint of CREDAI in the East. And that is why we have a very vibing, strong East chapter as of right now. Mr. Lalit Jain, I remember more than what is written out here. Other than the newsletter that he started, it's very important that information about everything. Today, you are all aware of the CREDAI library, and you keep getting updates from your various city and state chapters. It was his baby that he kind of thought it important that data reaches everybody, not only about what's being done for them, but how much hard work is being put in by the association. And another thing that he had done, I remember he traveled extensively across the country, sometimes at a cost of his own health, and he still fought strongly for all bodies to have CREDAI as a prefix to their individual units. And I remember, it was a time when MCHI, which was then the founding body of CREDAI, had some resistance to it, but over time we understood the collective power of having CREDAI as the prefix, and we happily accepted. Then came Mr. Shekhar Reddy, who still continues to work in the South and works presently with the IGBC and has a strong influence on CREDAI's tie-up with the IGBC towards creating green buildings. It is, I think, his first love and his perpetual love that he keeps working on and working with. What can I say about the tiger that followed? Gitambar Anand became the face of CREDAI. Gitambar Anand became that voice of CREDAI. Gitambar Anand became that bonding glue of CREDAI, and I had the opportunity of serving under him as secretary. And it was probably the learning years of my life because there was a tiger who fought against all conventional wisdom, sometimes did more and took on the hits personally. People I know in power do not take kindly to words that come from our industry, especially if they come from a tiger like him. And I know he's faced a lot of attacks for that. You increased our connect and our fight with the various financial institutions and NBFCs. And thank you very much for all that you did. You really did a lot to set up the CSR Foundation as well at that point of time. No, I was your secretary. I loved it. After him, and they say it's difficult to follow in the footsteps of giants. And then we had to find another giant called Jakshay, who stepped into Gitambar's shoes. Jakshay is a powerhouse as far as our connect with the government goes. His understanding of the entire system really helps us a lot. The man knows what is the requirement of the front end, at the same point of time manages to work things out behind the scenes, as they call it. And I remember he was one of those presidents who had his entire mandate out. He had put out the entire manifesto, I think, a month before, and he was ready to take on the presidency, and he did a great job. And then we had one more tiger, the man we call Dada. Dada it can be loosely referred to as someone who controls you through whatever means. It also means elder brother, where we come from in Maharashtra. And I can say Satish Dada had years of experience being a very seasoned, I would say, head of committees, institutions. He came with a great amount of calm, charm, and force. And he kind of changed the way CREDAI used to function. All our meetings had to start at a particular time. If he said 9:01 was not acceptable. I think the discipline that came with him was amazing. And, I want to say this, it is very difficult for a leader who's a personality to lead through, digital media. But at the time of COVID, to keep your calm, to tell the industry, when everybody thought their pants had been taken off, this man comfortably said, look, the government is there, the world is there, we will reach out time and again. And guys, I'm speaking more about these people because I've worked very closely with them. But every leader has added so much to our organization. And then, again, to take over from him, Mr. Harsh Patodia ji, my immediate president, such calm, such a stickler for details. The Secretariat can bear with me, and Hari can tell you that he had so much depth with the kind of organization details that are needed, the kind of energy he gave it, the kind of time he spent on it. I can tell you umpteen number of calls. All my vice presidents, you all are very lucky, and my president-elect, you're super lucky. But Harshji used to literally call up on a regular basis, following up on every event that ever took place. During and post-COVID, we set up committees to take care of all our labor, and he played a very, very important part in that. I must say I'm blessed to have worked directly with 4 of these gentlemen directly, and even today I share a great, I can say, place in the heart of my earlier presidents, and whenever I meet them, there is such warmth. You have to believe me when I say CREDAI is a family. It is a family. Test it out sometime. Land up in the middle of nowhere. Call up the local CREDAI member. He'll step out of his house. He'll step out of whatever he is doing to be able to kind of take care of you at that moment in time. My dear friends, if there is one culture that we can continue, it is this of staying together, being together, following the guidelines of the lovely trade body that we are a part of. And I've just been educated again by Ramni that there is so much more that had started off, and we need to continue. We need to become a part of, Shekhar, especially for you, we need to become a part of all the committees. I think he just touched upon it. Before something happens, we as CREDAI need to be called over there. For that, I'm appealing to each and every one of you. You need to participate some more. You need to give some more of your time and energy to this organization. 25 years ahead of you are golden period. But guys, if you don't put in the effort right now, like these people have, we will not get as far as we can get. So please join me in raising a big round of applause to all my past presidents. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I'm going to request Shekhar and Manojji to just come on stage. I'm going to request all my vice presidents to also join me on stage while we felicitate all our leaders. I'm going to request you, Ms. Wong, to call them one after the... okay. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Y'all please come, please come, please come. I didn't see Irfan Bhai because he's too busy playing word games. Irfan Bhai, if not for you, believe me, we would not have this fantastic doyen that we can count on. The number of stories that you have given us, your calm at all points of time, your reasonability, your ability to kind of just help whoever comes to you, your ability to reach across various age groups. I have seen the youngest of members crowd around you because of your aura. I've seen the oldest of us, including me, come to you for words of wisdom. And you as our chairman, across with all the other chairmen that have been, but you've been one of those chairmen with Gitambar as the president, who really had a, how do I say, the balming effect and at the same point of time a spurring effect on all of us. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm really glad to have ever met a man like you, and I'm looking forward to continuing getting your guiding and guidance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Irani, for giving us such an insider's perspective with such warmth and such grace and such reverence. It truly, truly warms our heart. Once again, thank you very much for the immense contribution our past presidents have had in our progress. Can I please call upon stage with the hugest and the warmest round of applause. Please, let's have on stage Mr. Ramani Shastri, Mr. Rajnikant Ajmera. All of them are tigers, ladies and gentlemen. Give them an applause suitable to their name. First up, please welcome Mr. Ramani Shastri. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap it out loud. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of mehnat, mashakkat, which has gone into all of this. Big congratulations. We thank you for the next, please welcome Mr. C. Shekhar Reddy. Ladies and gentlemen, let not your applause be weak. I encourage you to please clap it out. Make it thunderous, make it lovable, make it immense, make it loud. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We're all honoring a lot of good work which has been put up by our past presidents. And now please welcome Mr. Irfan Razak. More like it, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're just warming up to it. Let's keep it loud for 2 more past presidents coming up on stage right after this. Please welcome, up next, Mr. Gitambar Anand. Mr. Gitambar Anand. That is so much fun. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jackson Shaw. Come on, give it up, give it up. Make it loud, keep the love coming in. Show some love, show some appreciation. Much love and adoration. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, time for a photo opportunity.
There's a surprise. May I call Mr. Raj Menda on stage, please? Mr. Raj Menda, as history goes, I don't know if Ramni touched upon it, but the name coined CREDAI, he had a very important role to play, which he told me over a lunch in Bangalore once. Come on, guys. I don't know why you don't clap. I want to also call on stage Jitubhai Thakkar. Jitubhai, if not for you, we would not have had a constitution, we would not have had all the changes and the guiding light that we've had at all points of time. Thank you very, very much.
May I request all the past presidents to please step forward. Can we have all our past presidents please step forward? And requesting everybody in the assembly, in the celebration, to please rise and give them a standing ovation for all the wonderful work that you've put in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate the good, substantial, sustaining work which has been done. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work, it's a lot of goodwill, it's a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, nights and days which goes behind doing anything which is worth importance and credibility. That's a lot of credibility on stage right now. So clap it out and please show your love and appreciation towards our past presidents. That's wonderful. I see there's a boys group on stage. Very robust. Wonderful. A lot of youthful energy on stage. Absolutely fantastic. Once again, many, many congratulations. I request you all to please take your seats. And thank you very much, Mr. Irani, for taking us through the entire segment. Thank you.
at this point in time, what I need to add, that while I gave you the background of why CREDAI was formed and how it was formed, one important thing that all of us, I missed out, is very clearly at that point in time when we were coming together, we realized that real estate people are people who are very well versed with everything about the law, about the way politics is run, about knowing people, and probably we are the best community that interacts with people very easily. So the intention behind this creation is every member would know at least one MP or two MLAs in the place wherever he is building. So the idea was, if we bring all the 27 states together, at some point in time, we don't need to be the BJP, we don't need to be the Congress, we don't need to be any political party. But believe you me, we had the strength to get anything approved in the cabinet with our own people, which is rightfully and truly deserved by our fraternity. So I remind you, I request Baman and everybody else to try and see how best we can put our heads together and use our collective strength for the benefit of the industry. Thank you. Sorry for being an interview. I guess it's collective power corrected again. I think we have to have collective power and we need to be together. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Baman, for taking us through the entire session. And yes, collective power is extremely important. That's something to mull upon, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'm going to be calling upon Mr. G. Ram Reddy and Mr. Bandish Ajmera on stage to please honor our fantastic sand artist, Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik. Mr. Reddy and Mr. Ajmera. And much appreciation and much gratitude to our Padma Shri Sudarshan Patnaik ji. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.